We are here at the 2025 California Open Dance Sport Championship. This is Debbie's 35th anniversary. 35. So we're here with Donald Johnson. We all know him. We all love him. Tell us a little bit about how many times you've been at the California Open, either as a dancer or a judge, if you had to think back.
Wow, I left California 16 years ago, and probably 15, well, I guess as long as she's been running it.
Amazing, yeah.
That's funny. I guess it is that long. I even never thought about it.
Wow.
It's a long time. Time flies.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in your experience coming to this competition, I'm assuming as a dancer, right?
Yes.
And then coming back as a judge. Obviously that dynamic changes in any event, but for example, at California Open, how does it feel to watch the dance floor that you used to be on and now be there judging? Like, what changes mentally?
Nothing changes mentally. The old cliches, you gain wisdom with age.
Yes.
Being 63, I've gained my wisdom. I've been in the business for 46 years, but I'm not sure if there's a dynamic change in terms of how judging, just the dancing has changed. Mm-hmm. There's, you can equate it to like, the iPhones, what phones started off as, how much they've involved. Dancing has really taken on its own, every division has taken its own identity. Like American Smooth has come such a long way.
Absolutely,
I dance Latin, but man, if I could go back in time, I might dance international ballroom again. Just because of what the kids are doing nowadays. It's crazy, amazing good.
Yeah. So as someone that's coaching and judging through that change of dynamic and style and identity, how do you shift your mindset and continue to keep that level of knowledge, that level of wisdom transitioning?
I'm not really the transition. I don't find myself transitional in terms of new things. I'm really an old schooler, so when I'm brought in, I'm still working from foot to foot. Basic fundamental, and I think it's a younger crowd that really develops the new edge, and that's what has to push back against the old school.
Okay.
The old school maybe keeps them in line a little bit, and they push us back a little bit. We push them back a little bit, but it's so fundamental. I have screaming in my ears, Donald, you simply move from this foot to this foot. And back then I was like, it's not that easy, but it's not easy, but it is that simple. Mm-hmm. Understanding what your body does when it hits the floor, how your weight hits the floor, how your body should transition through the weights, what sequential order things happen as your foot hits the floor. Mm-hmm. I give parallels to my kids all the time. You're putting weight onto a foot, there should be something happening. Like when a ball hits the water, there's a splash. Yeah. It doesn't look weird. It looks weird if the splash starts to happen before the ball hits the water, though. So sometimes dancing takes on that form. The horse is slightly in front of the carts.
Yes, and I think, you make such a good point is sometimes we get so caught up, it can go either way, right? Where we get so caught up in trying to be perfect with the foundations that we don't explore.
Sure, of course.
Or vice versa.
But that's the journey, though.
Yeah.
That's the journey. You could be so technically correct and be boring.
Yeah.
I work with my kids all the time. If you don't get their attention, who cares if you know what you're doing? Mm-hmm. In the first few rounds, if you're not getting their attention, you're trying to you say, hey, put me in the next round. Who cares what your technique is? But the bottom line is you can only make it so far without your fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Glitz and glamour only go so far with judges who really have an eye and appreciate things.
Absolutely. So, I think that's something that's important for us all to remember is foundations are necessary, especially for those, I'm going to make a comment for the pro-am dancers out there. I was one of them at one point in my life who just wanted to jump straight to fun, exciting, because it's exciting. But then we learn eventually, if we don't work on those foundations, you can't create.
Yeah, I do we have a large kids program, and when Irina teaches it, it's always something exciting. They love it when they see me coming in to teach it, like, oh, here we go again, because they know I'm going to say the same thing. But until I get it in their head where they can repeat my sentences, that's what I want. I want them to finish my sentences. You know what I mean? So, and my father taught me a long time ago, even in sports, and fundamentals win World Series. The guy goes down and he catches the ball with two hands. He goes down with one hand. As a kid, you're taught to catch the ball with two hands. Those are just simple fundamentals, and it's just the reality.
Absolutely.
You have to come back to it.
Definitely. So last question for you tonight. If you had to say one catchphrase catchphrase that your students would say, we know Donald is always going to tell us over and over again, blank, what might that be?
Usage of legs and weight change.
Okay.
The usage of legs will start to dictate everything else. A lot of times people start to use their arms and it didn't come from anywhere from below with your legs and stuff. It's like running. If you start running faster, your arms start going faster. If you start walking slower, your arms start going slower faster. It's everything has to come from a base.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing your insights, and we enjoy having you here at the California Open.
Thanks, babe. Congratulations.